Welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making a crystallized ginger pumpkin bread. And it's also going to be braided. Look at how gorgeous this turned out. This recipe is going to yield 2 loaves. We have one really pretty loaf and one loaf that, you'll see in the video how it comes together. But very good, yellowy pumpkin. Pumpkin and ginger go very well together. And this crystallized ginger, there's a little hint of raisins that are in here. So let's get together and let's make this bread. Okay, so let's get started in making our ginger pumpkin bread. We've got 4½ cups of bread flour already in the mixing bowl. And to that, we're going to add some spices. We have some pumpkin pie spice, about 2¼ teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. We also have 1 tablespoon of instant yeast. Just add that right in there. We have 1¼ teaspoons, or 1½ teaspoons regular table salt. Right here, we have some granulated sugar. I believe it's 1 3/4 cups maybe. I don't know, somewhere in there. There's some grams. It's in the recipe. You can see that quite clearly in the recipe. So we've got some regular granulated salt. I also have the crystallized ginger. Now, I bought this stuff at the Jewel for extremely high pricing. I think each one of these was like 13 bucks, which is insane. It makes this bread overly expensive. However, I did hear from my dentist, Dr. Kushner. He said that you can buy crystallized ginger at Trader Joe's for a much cheaper price. Anyway, if you buy the expensive kind like me, I think it's about 64 grams of crystallized ginger. It's 1 container and then maybe just a little tiny bit off of another container. But crystallized ginger, and that's what it looks like. It's just chunky crystallized ginger that you can eat without getting too ill, I believe. I've made this recipe a few times before. So we're going to add in our crystallized ginger, just like so. And then here I've got 1 can of pumpkin puree. And then I've got 4 tablespoons of melted butter. We're going to add that to the pumpkin puree along with 2 eggs. And that pretty much is our wet ingredients. And we're just going to whisk this together to form our wet ingredients. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, so now we're going to add our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients, just like so. All right, there we go. So now we're just going to take our dough hook this in, and we're going to mix this together for, let's plug it in first, shall we? We're going to mix this together until everything's combined, and then we're going to let it sit for about 15 minutes or so that all the moisture can get soaked into all the flour. All right, so right now all of the dough has been mixed thoroughly and it's all mixed in. You can see it's pulled away from the sides of the bowl. So right now we're really just going to let this sit for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to run it for about 7 minutes, at which time I also have a little bit of raisins here. We're going to add those just when we're done with the full mix. So we'll be back in about 15. Okay, so this sat for 15 minutes, and then I ran, it's been kneading now for about 7 minutes or so. And now we're going to go ahead and add our raisins right in here and let that mix into the dough. And then right after this gets mixed in, I oiled a large bowl with some grapeseed oil You can use olive oil, any oil that's got no distinct flavor. I just happen to have a little grapeseed oil lying around. So now that the raisins are just about mixed in to the dough, we're going to go ahead and transfer this over to this other bowl. We're going to do our best to coax this out. Okay, so I have a piece of plastic wrap here. We're just going to wrap the bowl here. We're going to let this sit for 1.5 hours. So a lot of sitting with this bread, but it'll be worth it in the end, you'll see. I'll see you then, and we'll form it into the bread loaves. Okay, so here we are. It's 1.5 hours later, and the dough has risen a little bit. So we're going to take the plastic wrap off. I was going to use the plastic wrap later for something else, but we'll deal with a fresh plastic wrap later. I am going to flour our board a little bit, just a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our dough out. Like so. And we're going to take it and basically cut it in half, and then we're going to cut each half into thirds. So we're just going to eyeball this. And I'm going to say that that's about half. This one here. Set this one aside. And then I'm just going to make it a little long, like so. And again, I'm going to cut it one, and then that in half like that. Approximate thirds. And then we're just going to take this and we're going to roll this out until we have a piece about 10 inches long. Now, normally I have a ruler, but I can't find it today for some reason. And it figures it's because I'm filming something and that's when I can't find it. But I do have this which shows 5 and 5, so that's about 5.5. That's about longer than 10. So we're going to smush this in a little bit. So that's about 5 there. Still, we're a little longer, but we're going to say, I'm going to just make this our length. It's not quite, it's a little more than 10, but it's all right. It just needs to be relatively even. And so I'll do the same thing here. So we're gonna go with about 3 of these, so 6 total. And they don't have to be perfect. We're gonna again this. Here we go. There's 1. There's 2, and then this one here will make 3. And again, a little bit of flour. A little bit of flour on the board. And we're just gonna roll this out. Okay, so you can see that's our 6 right there. Now, I know you keep watching me look up this way, and the reason why I'm looking up this way is I want you to look up this way. You're going to see what we're going to do next, and what that is we're going to braid this bread. But I want you to be able to see it not only here on the table, but I want you to see it up here. So you'll see kind of what we're exactly doing here. So here we are with our 3 strands. And we're gonna, first of all, we're gonna connect these together in the back here, just like so. And then we're gonna just cross this over like this. And we're gonna cross the next one over like so. And then we're gonna cross this one over like so. This one over. And then I get confused as to which one goes. We're trying to make a braid. And I always get confused as to which one should be the braid. This one here, we're just going to mush it in a little bit. And again, I don't know how long. I mean, I'm estimating that it's 10, but it's longer than 10. So we try to get it to form a braid. And then from this point, it's going to, once it gets braided, and at this point we're going to, again, merge the end. I'm going to just kind of smush this together a little bit. Smush the end and tuck it under. And then this braid, we're going to try to delicately move it over onto a parchment-lined cookie sheet, more or less. And that's going to raise for another hour right after we build these. So I'm going to try this again. Try this again to show you. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a simple little thing. Or, you know, should be a simple little thing. Just these 3 braids, or 3 rolls. I'm going to put one over here. I don't know which. Maybe I should do this one first, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. This one's looking at like it's a little bit better. Like I almost know what I'm doing. And you can see it right here. It actually does. It looks a lot better. So that's a pretty good braid right there. Other than this, we've got a lot going on back there. But this one here, we're just going to pinch this together, tuck it under. And you can see that is actually a pretty nice braid. That's probably going to be the better of the two. There's always one that's going to be iffy, and the other is going to be, you know, so-so. If you like the video you're seeing, look down here in the corner here. There's a subscribe button. Go on and subscribe. And, you know, you'll be getting these videos automatically. I guarantee maybe once a month. I know I slacked off in December and also in January and February. It's already March. But I'm just trying to catch up and get back on track. So here we are with the second braid. And what we're going to do, you can see these. One, not too bad. It's really not too bad. But we're just going to take these, we're going to cover these in plastic, and we're going to let these sit for another hour, and they're going to raise again, and then we're going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. We're going to bake these for 30 minutes, and we're going to come out with wonderful pumpkin ginger, crystallized gingerbread. And it's going to be fantastic. So I will see you then. Okay, so here we are. We finished baking the bread. It's out of the oven, and it's had about 30 minutes or so to cool. And you can see that we have one really nice loaf. That's the nice loaf that I put together, which was the second one. And the first one, it still turned out well. I mean, I'm not going to throw it away for sure. We're definitely going to enjoy this bread. And again, crystallized ginger and pumpkin go very well together. You put some butter on this bread. It's very delicious, moist, soft. You can taste the apple pie spice really also enhances that ginger flavor. Very nice bread. I've made it several times. I have enough to make it several times more. Once again, sorry for the delay in the video. I know it's March. I forget, like I say, I forget that December really only has 2 weeks in it, and then all the holidays start, and then we're out of time. So anyway, 2026, the 5th year of Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Take a view on the website. Get the full recipe at crazydaveskitchen.com on your tablet, on your smartphone. And then tune in, subscribe right down here. I hope you enjoyed the new format. I know I did, making it. So enjoy the day, make this bread, and I will see you next time right here on Crazy Dave's Kitchen.